Hello, this is Joe Price from the BYU Record Linking Lab, and I'm going to provide some instructions on how to do the merge duplicate task. This task shows up on our volunteer opportunities under task number 2, and it's part of the census-based family tree. Duplicates can be a real barrier to new users, and we're trying to remove as many of these barriers to make family history a good experience for everyone the first time they do it. Duplicates can cause duplication in temple work, and so we want to reduce that as well. So from this sheet, we're going to click on Data and go to the Google spreadsheet. Now if you click in the volunteer column, you can actually hit Control down and it'll take you to the next spot that has an open space. So I'm going to, and then I'm going to insert my name. This is how we check out the work we're going to do so that other people know that I'm working on these 4 right here. And then here's where I'll record whether or not it was actually a duplicate that I merged, or if it was not something that should have been merged, or I can put a 0.5 if I'm not sure. So let's try this first example. I'm just going to click on this URL, and then I click on the little box that shows up right above it. This is going to take me right into Family Tree. And so now my job is to compare these 2 people and make a determination if they should be merged. So you can see we have a good match on the name. The birth information is matching up pretty well. We can scroll down here and you can see that they both have the same mother. So this would be a really good thing to merge so that we can bring these 2 people together. And so then what we're going to do is, since over here on the right this is more complete than on the left, we're going to hit replace to bring that over. And then if we look at the way the names are spelled, this is probably a more correct way to spell the name, so I'm going to replace that as well. And then I already have his mother here, so I'm not going to bring that over. And then I hit continue merge, and then I finish merge. Okay, so now with Lafayette Horn, we've now successfully merged him together. And if you want, you're always welcome. Sometimes you'll see record hints here that you're welcome to do, but we've completed the task, so we put a 1 in that first column. Okay. Let's try the next one. So again, we click the URL, and then we click the box right above it. And now we're looking at these side by side, and we can see that we have a good match on the name. The birth month matches up. Now here we have West Virginia, here we have United States, so that's a little problematic, so we can maybe do a little bit more research there. And then we come down here, and on the right side we have a spouse and children, and on the left side we have parents. This is very common with duplicates, and this is a really important reason why we want to merge duplicates, because it'll pull the 2 families together and tighten the tree. So what we want to do now is just make sure that these are the same person. So one way we can do that is we can go and let's see if we can find out where this Madge was born, because if she was born in West Virginia, we're going to feel a lot more confident about this match. So we can click on Madge, and then we can look over here to see the record hints, and notice that it is saying that there is some possible duplicates that Family Search has flagged. We can hit Show All, and this will allow us to see that in this record right here, she was born in West Virginia. She was born in West Virginia. She's born in West Virginia. So now we're feeling a lot more confident about this match. We can also see that, here we have her with her spouse and child. Now we don't have any of the records with her parents, but everything here seems to be lining up. And the other thing we can do now is we could actually even just do the duplicates that show up here on Family Search, because the Family Search duplicates tend to be very high quality. And from this we can see that it's the exact same merge that we were looking at before. So what I just did is I copied the state. I'm going to add this over. I'm going to add in the parents, and then I'm going to hit finish merge. And then the one last thing I want to do is just I want to fix her birthplace. So I'm going to put in West Virginia, and I'm going to save. Okay. So we've now successfully merged. If we want, we could do the other duplicate here. This wasn't part of our set, but it might be a helpful thing for us to merge as well. And so we can take a look at this one. And here we have, she was born in Marshall, and that's all the information there is. So this one, if we remember, we could go back to Madge and look and see if she was born in Marshall, and if so, then we'd feel more comfortable merging this. But for this, I'm just going to leave this as it is. Okay, so we come back here, and now we put a 1 in that column. Let's just do 2 more. So I'm going to click this. I click the box right above it. And again, if this has felt too fast, merging is it's a pretty advanced skill, but it's a really important skill, and one of the nice things we like about this volunteer opportunity is it gives people a lot of practice with merging duplicates. So this is an interesting case now where we have a first and last name that match, the middle initial matches, the birth year is off a little bit, which can happen, and then we scroll down and we don't see any family matches. So we're going to feel a lot more confident if maybe we can learn a little bit more about this Connie. So let's click on Connie Pope. Now let me show you something that can often be really helpful. Now here's a clue right here. We see that Family Search has flagged this as a possible duplicate. We also have a 1900 census, which could be really helpful. So let's click on that. If we look at this 1900 census, we have the birth month and year, which matches up, and then we have parents Owen, Elizabeth, and then some siblings. So that can be helpful. Another thing we can do is we can also click on Ancestry, and this is going to take us over to Ancestry to look at some records. And now if we hit Edit Search, we can hit on Family Trees and then Search. And this first one is a family tree, and if we hit See More like this, we can see other family trees. Now notice this first family tree is really great. It's got a lot of sources attached. It's got a lot of complete information about Connie, and so if I click on that, then I can see that we actually have a really rich family tree for Connie over here on Ancestry. So now that we have this information, let's go back to our original merge, and this might help us feel more comfortable about merging these two people together. So over here we have a birth month and year and a death year, and then over here we have a spouse, Bogan, and some parents. So let's go back to our Ancestry. So here we have Owen and Bogan. So now we know we have a good match, and if we click here, we can see that in fact she was born April 1890. So this is a merge that we would want to do. So let's go back to here, and so we're going to keep this because it's more complete. We'll keep this. We'll keep this name because it's got a full middle name, and then we come down and continue merge, and then finish merge. Okay. So now that that's complete, we'll put a 1 right here, and then let's do one last one. And if we want, we can always close these windows as we go along just to make it so our bar isn't as cluttered. So now here we have a case where over here we have a Samuel Alhouse born January 1854 in Pennsylvania. And then over here we have a Samuel Alhouse born in March 1854. Let's see if any other information seems to line up. So over here we have a whole bunch of detailed information about our person, and over here we don't have a lot. So now we have two options. We could maybe go find the exact birth date of this Samuel and then see how it compares to this one. So let's do that. We're going to click on this Samuel. And the first thing we can do is we can check to see if he's got an exact birth date in any of these records. Here we have a birth year and a birth year, but no exact birth date. So now let's look over on Ancestry and see if it gives us any clues. And I'm going to hit Edit Search. And I can come down here to hit Family Trees and then hit Search. And so notice I have this nice one that pops up, and it's got a birth date, 26th of June, 1852 in this city. And I can even look at other public member trees that have Samuel Berryhill, and notice that again there's the same birth date. And so those are the two trees that will give me some information. So now we know, so let's actually add this information to the tree. We can come back here, and now we know that that was his birth date. And we can even be more precise about where he was born. Okay, and then we can see if we have that same 1900 census. So here it says June 1854, but we have June 1852. Okay, so now we've corrected that. Now now that we know the exact birth date of this Samuel Alhouse, let's now do our merge again, and let's see what's going on. So now here we have an exact birth date. Over here we have an exact birth date. Now it's much easier to see that they were actually born different dates, different places. Okay, so this one is not a merge. We are not going to want to merge that, so we're going to put a 0 there. Okay. Now again, I can't show every possible thing that can happen, but I think the general rules is to look for clues that indicate whether they're the same person. Sometimes you can attach additional sources to one of the two people, which will help you better determine if they might be the same person or not. And then I think looking at public member trees on Ancestry can always be a really helpful way to gather some clues. Thanks again for all your help with this project. We think it's going to be a great way to help people that are new to family history and also just make the tree better and tighter.